All right, and live from the Kenyatta University Communication Center, you are just in time for the Friday edition of the KUTV Prime Time News on this 12th day of the month of December, as Kenya celebrates its Jamhuri Day, the day that Kenya became a republic and was able to implement its movement as a republic recognized all over the country. A day to celebrate, a day that has been quite festive, with celebrations happening across the country, and we have that covered for you in tonight's bulletin. But first, let's take a look at tonight's top stories. Jamhuri at 62, Kenya unveils bold tourism wildlife reforms.
Through a tourism manifesto anchored in magical Kenya, the origin of wonder, the manifesto please.
President Ruto defends projects as development promises dominated this Jamhuri speech. Kenyans split on Jamhuri Day message, unity versus unmet promises.
Nimeguswa na maneno mengi yenye rais ametaja, kama venye ameongelea maneno ya ukulima, ameongelea maneno ya usawishaji.
Sijaona yale ya kale alikuwa at least inaweza kufundisha ya saizi.
Counties outline priorities as leaders address local concerns within the counties. Welcome to the broadcast. My name is Emmanuel Kutosi, and with me in the sign language interpretation is Francis Okinyi. Now, Kenya has marked its 62nd Jamhuri Day with vibrant displays at the Nyayo Stadium, where this year's theme centered on tourism and wildlife conservation. Leaders used the occasion to unveil new commitments to boost tourism, strengthen wildlife protection, and position Kenya as a premier global travel destination.
The sector. The celebrations emphasize expanded investment, community benefits, and stronger protection of key heritage sites. President Ruto announced major infrastructure upgrades across Nairobi, linking better transport to Kenya tourism and wildlife sector. He pledged road expansion and city beautification to ease congestion, enhance visitor experience, and showcase Nairobi as a modern world-class destination.
History teaches us that no nation ever prospered on poor roads, inefficient ports, and congested airports. Modern transport and logistics drive productivity, reduce the cost of doing business, and creates trade, business, and innovation and investment hubs. Our 10-year roadmap on road, rail, ports, and airports and oil pipeline infrastructure includes the expansion of strategic highways connecting our major cities, industrial zones, markets, border points, and agricultural belts.
Tourism Cabinet Secretary Rebecca Miano said the government is intensifying efforts to introduce Kenya to the world, noting that new promotional strategies are being rolled out to showcase the country's attraction and expand its global tourism footprint.
Through a tourism manifesto anchored in magical Kenya, the origin of wonder. The manifesto, please.
Nairobi Governor Johnson Sakaja highlighted tourism growth, noting that Kenya received up to 1 million visitors this year. He said the rising numbers reflect renewed confidence in the country's attraction and ongoing efforts to strengthen the tourism sector.
Kauli mbiu ya mwaka huu inaunganisha busara hizo mbili. Nianze kwa kutambua kwa ustamilivu, ubunifu na mafanikio ya sekta ya utalii na ukarimu au hospitality hasa hapa Nairobi. Nairobi imeendelea kuwa kiini cha uimara wa sekta hii. Ukiangalia vituo vya kuwasili nchini, miundombinu ya Nairobi ndio ya kwanza. Na ukiangalia idadi ya ziara, hifadhi ya taifa hapa Nairobi, Mheshimiwa Rais, imekuwa na wageni wapatao nusu milioni kwa mwaka tu ambao uliopita.
At Nyayo Stadium, Jamhuri celebration focused on wildlife and tourism, with leaders highlighting Kenya's efforts on tourism. Edna Nerea, KUTV, Nairobi.
Thank you, Edna Nerea, for that report. Now, talk of a development agenda took center stage as the nation celebrated 62 years of independence, with President William Ruto defending key government projects. Despite the theme focusing on tourism, wildlife, the president's address was marked by bold development commitments.
This year's Jamhuri Day celebration was unique. Despite the theme focusing on tourism, wildlife and trade, the president outlined several infrastructure projects the government's plans to initiate next year. These included the construction and completion of roads in Nairobi, rehabilitation of the ports of Mombasa and Lamu, completion of the modern railway from Naivasha to Malava, and the construction of modern markets in all 47 counties across the country.
Tunajenga zile barabara ambazo zilikuwa zimekwama hapa Nairobi. Tumekubaliana ya kwamba hizo barabara tumerudisha contractors wote ambao walikuwa pale.
In his address, Ruto remembered the nation's founders for their sacrifices and urged Kenyans to reflect on how they safeguard the hard-won freedom.
We honor the architects of our nation for giving us the first great watershed period in our nation building, political independence. Just as the first generation rejected colonial domination and set out to confront the new enemies of poverty, disease, and ignorance in all their forms, they discovered that independence did not amount to freedom in its full and fullest sense.
A moment of solemnity was observed when the president led the nation in remembering the late former Prime Minister Raila Odinga, acknowledging his major contribution to expanding democracy in the country and his belief in the possibility of national transformation. The president also promised that Talanta Stadium, expected to be completed soon, will be renamed Raila Odinga International Stadium.
The late Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, a stalwart of our country's democratic journey, who left us just under 2 months ago. Raila devoted his life to the pursuit of freedom, justice, and peaceful coexistence. His courage, resilience, and unwavering belief in the power of the people shaped defining chapters of our national story and inspired generations to believe that change is possible.
The president also emphasized the government's direction in economic reforms, particularly through the tourism sector and related areas, stating that the sector will continue to be a key driver of growth and employment. Meanwhile, the National Assembly is expected to convene on Monday to discuss the expansion of the National Infrastructure Fund and the Sovereign Wealth Fund, which are expected to take effect from next week.
on Monday under this new legal framework and to start this administration's bold and ambitious Kenya shillings 5 trillion roadmap to transform our nation. The cabinet will meet to consider and approve the architecture of the National Infrastructure Fund as the engine that will align our financial resources with our development goals.
As Kenya celebrates its 62nd Jamhuri Day, President William Ruto has reiterated the government's project, urging Kenyans to uphold integrity at all cycles of life. Rajab Juma, KUTV.
Thank you, Rajab Juma, for that report. Now, Kenyans once again turned out in large numbers to honor Jamhuri Day, with the Nyayo Stadium hosting this year's grand 2025 festivities. National flags and colors adorned the venue, underscoring the significance of this day. For the 62nd time, Kenyans gathered to celebrate Jamhuri Day, with the Nyayo Stadium hosting the grand 2025 festivities. Flags and national colors dominated the scenery, illustrating the significance of the important day for the country. Jamhuri Day celebrations remind every Kenyan of the foundation of governance vested in the citizens through their democratically elected leaders.
Kikosi sharti kuweza kupewa heshima ya hali ya juu.
The military unit adorned the stadium with their unique maneuvers, while their band played traditional and indigenous rhythms. When the Chief of Defense Forces joined the grounds, he had the opportunity to inspect a guard of honor. The blue military regalia of the Air Force, the red of the Kenya Army, and the white of the Kenya Navy flowed steadily, signaling Kenya's readiness to confront any threat to its freedom, including the strength of its armed forces. The parade commander issued commands with precision, carried out skillfully by the troops. And before leaving the grounds, the 20th Battalion flag was lowered with honor, while the national anthem was sung, all 3 verses.
Kwa heshima naomba sote tusimame kwa ajili ya wimbo wa taifa.
Then the sky became a stage for military capability demonstrations.
Formation.
Combat Air Force jets performing loops and drawing captivating patterns amid thunderous roars. God Bless Kenya became the banner to close the show.
Wakiwa wanabeba ujumbe speciali kwa Jamhuri ya Kenya. Happy.
With attack helicopters spreading the message at a calm pace.
Ndege aina ya Yui ikiwa na Cobra, Yui ikiwa imetangulia na Cobra ikiwa imefuata, zikiwa ni helikopta za kuongeza nguvu kwa wanajeshi wanaopigana ardhini.
Fellow Kenyans, and happy Jamhuri Day. My name is Captain Kutosi and I have just landed.
No celebration would be complete without entertainment. Models and artists dominated the stadium with artistry, while the youth of the new generation captivated the crowd with free-spirited fashion. Their creativity and talent ruled the air. Moreover, this year's celebrations included not only Kenyans, but also Kenya's friends. Representatives from various countries showing their love and solidarity with the Republic of Kenya.
Ama wende health gate, uone mahali shetani analala.
Now, Deputy President Professor Kithure Kindiki, speaking at the Nyayo Stadium, paid tribute to the country's freedom fighters and founding fathers. He emphasized that no generation can fully repay their sacrifices, urging Kenyans to build on the foundation that they laid.
Jameni wananchi, nchi yetu ya Kenya ni fire si fire.
Speaking at Nyayo Stadium, Deputy President Kithure Kindiki reflected on the sacrifices of Kenya's freedom fighters, noting that no generation can fully repay their debts. He emphasized building the nation on the foundations laid by those who fought for liberty and hard work of the country's founding fathers.
This generation will never pay fully the sacrifice and the debts of those who paid the ultimate price and sacrifice for the independence of our country.
Kindiki highlighted the government's commitment to socio-economic empowerment, promising that citizens will enjoy not only freedom of expression, but also freedom from hunger, disease, and poverty.
We will push under your leadership for a country where all its citizens do not just enjoy the freedom of expression and the freedom of the media, but they also enjoy freedom from hunger, freedom from sickness, and freedom from all the dangers that threaten human survival, especially poverty and the other economic perils.
Burundi's Vice President Prosper Mbazombanza also addressed the gathering, noting that Jamhuri Day embodies values of national unity, freedom, and the right to shape one's destiny. He pledged to continue strengthening friendship, peace, and prosperity between Burundi and Kenya.
A nation together, freedom, dignity, and the right to shape one's own destiny. On this special day, it is my great pleasure to wish you peace, prosperity, and friendship continue to grow stronger.
Other foreign dignitaries attended the event, highlighting Kenya's growing international relationships and the continent's shared commitment to liberty, unity, and development.
Kwa mara ya mwisho, wananchi wa Kenya ni fire si fire.
Yvonne Kemuma, KUTV.
Now, Kenyan police officers serving in Haiti were celebrated as heroes during the Jamhuri Day ceremony. The first cohort deployed under the Multinational Security Support Mission was recognized for their courage, professionalism, and role in global peacekeeping. President William Ruto praised their contribution to security and stability in conflict zones.
Mimi nataka niwapongeze askari wetu ambao walikwenda kule Haiti na mumewaona hapa, tuwapigie makofi jameni. Wamerudi nyumbani na heshima kubwa sana kwa taifa letu la Kenya. And I want to thank them profoundly for their courage, professionalism, and selfless love service to our nation and to the world, and for flying our flag high.
"26 past the top of the hour, and we are down in the first session of the Friday edition of the KUTV Prime Time News. Don't go too far, because we have a lot more in store for you after this short break.
jamii. Kupanda shuka, akawa tuzo. Ukakamavu wake, ukatii na kumfanya mwenye bidii. Kwa machozi na makeke, akabaini jinsi ya kuweni. Huyu ni mwanamke ngangari kwa jinsi alivyo ng'ari. Mimi ni mwanamke mwake. Usikose kutazama kipindi cha mwanamke mwake nami Caroline Kimwele.
Miti. Panda. Miti. Our planet's future is in our hands. However, there is a threat to the brightness of this tomorrow. On EarthCheck, we share the challenges, the solutions, and the hope.
I would call this a very momentous day, a very critical day.
Every episode, every story, every step we take creates a ripple. Join me, the environmentalist Emmanuel Kutosi, on KUTV every Wednesday at 8 p.m. and be part of EarthCheck. Welcome. Welcome back to the Friday edition of the KUTV Prime Time News. Now, across the country, Kenyans shared mixed reactions to this year's Jamhuri Day celebrations. While many welcomed calls for unity and progress, others say the government must translate promise into tangible action. Linda Zilu with more on this report.
As thousands gathered at Nyayo Stadium for the 62nd Jamhuri Day celebrations, the mood was a blend of pride, expectation, and concern. President William Ruto's message focused on renewed commitment to national development, digital innovation, and economic recovery.
To ensure that no one is left behind.
Kenyans who attended this year's Jamhuri Day celebrations expressed varied sentiments, with some noting that the president's remarks on famine, equality, security, and food security resonated deeply with them.
Jamhuri ya leo imekuwa mzuri, nimefurahia sana. Ni siku yangu ya kwanza kuhudhuria Jamhuri kwa maisha yangu, lakini nimefurahi sana tena kwa yale ambayo imefanyika leo. Okay, nimeguswa na maneno mengi yenye rais ametaja, kama venye ameongelea maneno ya ukulima, ameongelea maneno ya usawishaji ama usawa kwa serikali yake, ameongelea maneno ya tunaweza sema.
Others expressed happiness over this year's Jamhuri Day and President Ruto's remarks on improving roads to ease city center traffic.
Lakini nimefurahia kwa siku ya leo, ni miaka mingi sijahudhuria, but nimeonelea leo nikuja na speech ya rais na governor imenifurahisha. Ile uchumbi imenikuza saiti ni ile strategy wanaweka ya mabarabara kutoa traffic katika mjini ama city center. Sababu mimi ni driver, watu kama huko Warongai, Makati Road, ile plan yako nayo ni mzuri. Alafu na ile akaba na ile strategy ameweka venye anatoa matatu sasa.
There was also an expression that this year's Jamhuri Day celebrations felt different with the President Ruto's promise to reinstate all instructors, resonating with some attendees, with others' expectations remain unfulfilled.
Naona iko tofauti na mwaka jana. Pia nimefurahia venye imekuja leo. Pia nimesikia narudisha wote wale instructor wote warudi kazi. Kuna mengine ametimiza, mengine naona bado. Sijaona. Jela ya kale alikuwa at least inaweza kufundisha, ya sasa sijaona vile.
Wakenya wanahisia mseto kuhusu sherehe za Jamhuri, ila wana matumaini kuwa ahadi za rais zitatimizwa. Linda Nzilu, KUTV, Nairobi.
Following the 62nd Jamhuri Day celebrations at Nyayo Stadium, Kenyans shared mixed reactions, commending President Ruto's focus on national development, roads, and unity, while urging the government to transform promises into concrete actions that improve citizens' lives.
Kenyans still hold different opinions on Jamhuri Day, but hopeful the president's promises will be fulfilled. Linda Nzilu, KUTV, Nairobi.
Now, elsewhere across the country, counties marked the Jamhuri Day celebrations with local celebrations as leaders outlined development priorities. In Kirinyaga County, Governor Emmanuel Guru addressed farmers' welfare amid planned privatization of Mwea rice mills, while Mombasa authorities assured heightened security within the festive season.
Speaking during the Jamhuri Day celebrations in Kirinyaga, Governor Emmanuel Guru addressed concerns surrounding the planned privatization of the Mwea rice mills. She said negotiations with President William Ruto are ongoing to ensure that should the mill be sold, local farmers received priority.
Maneno ya maendeleo. Mwea rice mills. Mimi nimeomba rais na nitamuomba tena na nitaenda nimtafute nimuombe vile mumeniomba. Kama Mwea rice mills zitauzwa, tafadhali priority patiwe wakulima wa Kirinyaga. Na mimi nimejitolea kuenda kuomba rais, na mimi najua rais ni mtu wa kusikiza. Si ndio? Lakini huwezi enda kumuomba ukiwa na matusi huko kwa barabara.
Governor Guru emphasized the importance of engaging government constructively, urging leaders to avoid divisive politics. She assured farmers that her administration is committed to safeguarding their welfare and ensuring they get value for their produce.
Maneno ya South Ngariama titles mheshimiwa, hizo tulikuwa tumesukuma kabisa na county commissioner anajua. Na rais alikuwa ako tayari kuja kupeana titles. Lakini kukakuwa na dispute kidogo kwa watu wengine kadhaa. Na tukukuwa tunataka tupatie wengine, tuache wale wengine. Kwa hivyo ningependa kuhakikishia watu wa South Ngariama na wa Mwea, titles hivi karibuni tutamalizia na mheshimiwa rais mwenyewe atakuja azipeane.
Elsewhere in Nyeri County, celebrations for the Jamhuri Day were overshadowed by social concerns, with Commissioner Josephat Biwott warning that at least 10 people, mostly men, die by suicide each month, fueled by substance abuse and mental health challenges. Fires, road accidents, and school absenteeisms compound the crisis, prompting calls for public vigilance, education enforcement, and the use of health services.
Na wenye wanaamka tu asubuhi wanaenda kukunywa, alafu wanaleta shida nyumbani. Hata hawezi kumpa mama nafasi afanye kazi yake. Mambo ya kelele, mambo ya vita, hiyo yote tutatengeneza. Kuna mambo ya moto. Hata leo tumepoteza watoto wawili. Watoto wawili wameaga dunia kwa sababu ya nyumba yao ilichomeka. So tunataka tuangalie. Mliona watu wetu wa moto hapa mbele wakionyesha jinsi ya kuzima. Tumeleta kwa sababu ya mbona tuko na moto mingi sana.
In Migori County, celebrations at Kadika Primary School highlighted efforts to combat harmful traditions, with Commissioner Kisilu Mutua and Governor Ochilo Ayako condemning FGM in the Kuria region.
Tamaduni ambazo zimepitwa na wakati pia tuziache, kama zile za wenzetu pale kwa Wakuria za kutahiri wasichana, kuwaoza kwa mapema, watoto wasichana wanakosa kusoma.
Of Luo and the cultural extravaganza that we are enjoying, or we are practicing, or we are inviting people to in Migori County will be productive in making us cohesive as a people.
And in Kisii County at Moboba High School, during the commemorations, Governor Simba Arati highlighted national development projects as he called for prudent festive spending while also making a call to all
for the school's term
to exercise caution amidst increased travel.
Embrace Christmas by sharing with the less fortunate and uplifting the vulnerables. For the drivers and boda boda riders, my brothers, the boda bodas and the drivers, exercise caution, obey rules, and stay patient.
Na tisiruhusu kamwe kufanya zile zinaitwa kangaroo courts. Ati mtu amebaka, mtu amedefile, mtu ameweka msichana wa shule mimba, alafu watu wanaketi huko nyumbani kuzungumza ili kutatua matatizo hayo. Hiyo hakuna. Hizo ni criminal offenses na lazima zipelekwe polisi na lazima zipelekwe mahakamani zihukumiwe na mahakama.
In Mombasa, County Commissioner Mohamed Nur assured residents and visitors of heightened security as festivities begin. He said security has been intensified across the county, with the police arresting 36 suspects in Kisauni on Friday morning.
Na tutaenda kudhibiti kuhakikisha kwamba hakuna mtu atajaribu kusumbua watu hapa Mombasa, na si kwa wageni peke yake, hata wakazi, kuhakikisha kwamba uko ndani ya mtaa kila pali, tukifanya na chiefs, tukifanya na mabalozi na pamoja na OCS wetu, tukishirikiana wote kama multi agency kuona kwamba kuna usalama ya kutosha. Upande wa beaches tumeweka askari, kuna askari ya KWS, kina tourist police unit, kuna machifu yetu tumeweka multi agency. Ikifika jioni saa 12 tunahakikisha tunapiga frimbi, kila mtu anatoka kwa bahari. Hatutaki mtu yeyote kuzama kwa maji ama kuumia.
Nur highlighted multi-agency patrols including chiefs, Nyumba Kumi elders, tourism police units and KWS officers, particularly around the beaches. He urged parents to monitor their children closely and encouraged residents to register for affordable housing underway across the county. Yvonne Kimuma, KUTV.
Thank you, Yvonne Kimuma, for that comprehensive report across the counties. Now, Public Service Cabinet Secretary Geoffrey Ruku distributed emergency aid to families affected by the Mathare fire that left nearly 300 people homeless. He defended the government's development agenda while accusing former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua of misleading Kenyans with empty rhetoric.
Hii mtu ambaye anamdanganya mchana akisema ati Mlima Kenya ati kura ako nazo. Si tulikuwa na kinyang'anyiro pale mbele no? Si ni kwa mlima. Tulisalia. Hata Karonzo aende nyumbani. Hata Wamaro aende nyumbani. Hata Matiang'i aende nyumbani. Kwa sasa Mheshimiwa Rais amenituma na chakula ya kutosha. Amenituma na mattresses ya kutosha. Amenituma na mablanketi ya kutosha. Amenituma na sabuni ya kutosha. Amenituma na sanitary towels ya kutosha.
And away from that, the doctors' strike in Embu County has entered week 2 after talks between KMPDU and county officials collapsed, with key issues like stagnation, unremitted deductions and understaffing still unresolved. KMPDU says the strike will continue until a binding return to work formula is signed. The county has threatened to suspend salaries for doctors who do not report back to work this Monday.
Ijapokuwa wanatupatia zile ahadi, wafanyikazi ama madaktari katika kaunti ya Embu hawana tena imani kwao. Hatuna tena imani katika vile promises ama ahadi wanapotupatia, sababu mara 3 sasa tumepewa ahadi gushi, fake promises. So while tungependa sana kuamini, itakuwa ni ujinga mkuu.
I can assure you that this is work in progress and the strike was not necessary. Hii ni kazi ambayo tulikuwa tunafanya na ni kazi ambayo tutaendelea naye na ni kazi ambayo tutamaliza. Lakini tumekubaliana pia hata sisi wale ambao hawatakuwa kazi Jumatatu hatutawalipa mshahara. Tuliketi na hao watu wa union na tukawahakikishia kati ya wale 32 14 already tumeshafanya promotions katika mwaka. Hii budget tulitengeneza ya hii mwaka tulikuwa tumeshaweka makadirio ya kufanya promotions za madaktari wetu wote. Lakini katika kila jambo mkiona hata kwa unions pia kunakuwa na siasa.
All right, and we are due our second break right here on the Friday edition of the KUTV Prime Time News. In a moment, we'll be coming back with Mate Sports.
A new era, a new people. This is the Law Matters Show. A program that brings you legal sensitization on your television.
My statement is written and just the quote the prosecution.
I think that this loss is a setback for Raila Odinga.
What policy recommendations were fronted by the candidate?
With diversity, we demystify important legal issues locally, regionally, and internationally.
What Tanzanians.
Join me, Elvin Onsongo, as I bring you more insights on law matters.
We are looking at social issues. What is the problem? Is it the economy? Is it...
Law Matters Show, creating awareness, advocacy, and enhancing lives.
Transforming through technology, innovation is not just our pursuit, it's our purpose. At Kenyatta University, we lead through research, powering ideas that shape industries, communities, and nations. Our partnerships span continents, connecting visionaries, scholars, and change makers. Here, every breakthrough has a human story. Every success begins with curiosity and grows through courage. Today, we celebrate that spirit in every graduate ready to imagine the world. Because tomorrow doesn't wait, it begins here. Kenyatta University will hold the 58th graduation ceremony on 19th Friday, December 2025 from 8 a.m. at KU Main Campus Graduation Square. The ceremony will also be streamed live on KUTV and radio, YouTube and KU website and social media. For more information, please contact the Office of the Registrar Academic on 0208 703092 or 0786 335111 or visit the KU website at www.ku.ac.ke. Kenyatta University, transforming higher education, enhancing lives.
All right, and now to Mate's Sports, where the construction of the 800 million shilling modern Mumbi Stadium in Murang'a has begun, marking a major milestone in the national government's push to expand sports infrastructure and nurture youth talent. Rajab Juma with more details.
A new era for sports in Murang'a. The national government has broken ground for the 800 million Kenyan shillings modern Mumbi Stadium, a project expected to redefine sporting standards in the region.
Leo tumekuja hapa rasmi, Rais amenituma rasmi kuja kuanzisha.
Sports Cabinet Secretary Salim Vuria, who led the ceremony, confirmed that the 10,000-seater stadium will sit on 7 acres and will be completed within 1 year.
Yule mkandarasi Jambo la kwanza, ajiri vijana wa hapa. Jambo la pili, tunataka kazi hii ifanywe kwa muda mfupi zaidi, kwa sababu mimi ninaelewa tuna uwezo wa kujenga hii kiwanja na kukamilisha hata kabla ya muda wa kandarasi hiyo kukamilika.
According to the design, the stadium will feature a standard football pitch, an 8-lane tartan track, VIP pavilions, changing rooms, parking and holding rooms. It will also include auxiliary courts for volleyball, handball, basketball and netball, making it a multi-sport hub.
Sports ni devolved function. Huyo uwanja ni wa county government. So lazima tuwe na partnership, collaborations between the county and the national government, ili hii uwanja uweze kuendelea. So tunakushukuru sana Your Excellency Governor, sababu umekubalia the national government to partner with you ili tuweze kuaccomplish.
Sports Principal Secretary Elijah Mwangi applauded cooperation between the county and national governments. Murang'a is also set to benefit from more sports facilities, including the 10,000-seater Gikoigo Stadium, the 5,000-seater General Cargo Stadium, and 2 sports academies in Mirira and Kabati. Governor Irungu Kang'ata assured that residents will take priority in job opportunities.
Zote ambazo tunaweza fanya kama county government, kwani itamaanisha tuache kufanya mambo mengine, tuingie pesa zote tuzipeleke kwa one project. Basi zingine inabidi to lobby national government. Basi asanti waziri na pia President William Ruto kwa kuweza kuitikia huo request.
With the construction underway, leaders say the Mumbi Stadium will become a center of sporting excellence, stimulating local business and positioning Murang'a to host major events. Rajab Juma, KUTV.
12 minutes to the top of the hour, and that's where we wrap it up for this Friday edition of the KUTV Prime Time News on this 12th day of December. The Jamhuri Day celebrations happening all over the country, and now as we stream into the Jamhuri weekend and probably journeying on into the festivities of the Christmas that is coming upon us, the call is for us to be careful on the roads, in our activities, and at least so that we can be able to meet up later on. My name is Emmanuel Kutosi, and the sign language interpretation will be sailing through in the safe hands of Francis Okinyi. A big thanks to my producer, Yvonne Kemamonari, Boniface on the other side, Levis Nomoto, ensuring everything is going speak and span, and also Lucy, ensuring everything is on point on the digital team. Till next time, good night and sweet dreams.